Hey folks, Leaver here once again. Hopefully the quality is alright. It's pretty much getting dark time. Hope you all enjoyed my videos on Monday that I did trailer reaction videos. I might do 2 more tomorrow. But anyway guys, welcome back to another superhero review for the 80s era. And this film you might not call an 80s movie. I mean, it's an 80s movie. Or a superhero movie, I mean. But it did come out in the 80s, 1987. And it's directed by Paul Verhoeven. It's a science fiction action film. It's not a science fiction action film. And I did review this film before, but this is a revisit review. So, you know, these are kind of new videos I'll be doing, revisit reviews and I reviewed this movie back on my channel probably about 8 or 9 years ago. But it was a shorter review then. But I wanted to revisit this one because it's, to me, Robocop. Well, it's Robocop. A revisit review of Robocop. I love this movie. This is still a classic. I just watched it to prepare for this review. Still a great movie. I love this film. Great movie. And revisit reviews is something new to my channel, like many reviews, be shorter reviews. But, you know, it's nice to do different videos once in a while, and this is different. A revisit review, because I've never done a revisit review before. And I've reviewed this film before, but, you know, I just thought it would be a good idea to do. And, you know, since I consider Robocop, to me, to be a superhero, the first time I experienced this movie was at my grandparents' house. It was probably when I was like in 8th grade, in middle school or whatever. We went to my grandma's house. It was probably like it was a Saturday. And they would go, my grandparents loved to go to yard sales, and my grandfather bought all the Robocop movies on VHS. Yeah. And, you know, the poster, you know, because I didn't know what Robocop was, but that's that great poster for the movie. Watched the movie first time, was disturbed by it, but, you know, I was intrigued to watch it again, and I became a big fan of the movie. So I bought the movie because I just loved it, you know. I just, you know, kind of really enjoyed the movie, and I was just desiring to watch it again. So after my first experience seeing it, I'm like, wow, this is a movie I gotta get. So when I read on my channel, way back when the remake came out, that was for the remake, but this is for the superhero marathon now. But still, this is a classic. I love this movie, and it still holds up, in my opinion. Oh, and it's still, we did have a superhero movie that came out this year, same as this, and that was Superman 4, The Crucial Piece. This is definitely better than Superman 4. 100 times better than that shitty film. But anyway, about Robocop. For the production, Robocop was conceived in the early 1980s by Universal Pictures junior story executive and aspiring screenwriter Edward Niemeyer, and fan of robot-themed science fiction films such as Star Wars, you see my shirt, as well as action films. Niemeyer had developed an interest in mature comic books while researching themes for potential adaptation. 1980 science fiction film Blade Runner was filming at Warner Bros. While behind Niemeier's office, and he officially joined the production to learn about filmmaking. His work that gave him the idea for Robocop. He said, I had the vision of a far distant Blade Runner type world where it was an all-mechanic cop coming to a sense of real human intelligence. He spent the next few nights writing a 40-page script for the movie screenplay. While researching story submissions for Universal, Niemeyer came across a student video by aspiring director Michael Miner. The pair met and discussed their similar concepts. Niemeyer's Robocop and Meyer's theme rock music video in 2014 interview. Meyer said that he has an idea called Supercop. The pair formed a working partnership and spent about 2 months discussing the idea, plus 2-3 months writing together, not work. Intentionally difficult because they did not know each other well and had to learn how to criticize each other. Meanwhile, will influence to kill off his main character early on Psycho, horror film from Psycho, whose heroine was killed in the first act. Died with comic books and his personal experience. And, you know, you see Robocop was inspired by Judge Dredd, I believe, too. No more one to use satire from 1980s business culture, noting the increasing aggression of American financial services. He also believed that Detroit's declining automobile was decreased. Ed 209's malfunction of the OSP program was based on Niemeyer's office daydreams about a robot bursting in a meeting and killing everyone. Mine describing the film as a comic relief for cynical time. During the President Ronald Reagan, but anyway, the first draft of the script titled Robocop, the future of law enforcement, was given industry friends into France. They went to studios for it. Miner and Niemeyer went to studios for it, but they thought Robocop, what a stupid title, silly title. Nobody would take that seriously. That sounds stupid. They tried to go to directors that they offered these projects to them, but I guess you said they said no to it. Eventually Orion, company Orion, decided to buy Robocop for $7 million, but not just for any director. They wanted a good director. Paul Verhoeven, they found out about Paul Verhoeven, who had received acclaim for his work on Soldier of Orange and an English language film called Flesh Blood. Verhoeven looked at the first page and rejected the script as over, saying the project, stalling the project. Boyle sent Verhoeven another copy, suggesting he pay attention to the subtext. Verhoeven was still uninterested until his wife read it and encouraged him to give it a chance. Said he had missed the soul of the story about someone losing their identity. In English, Verhoeven admitted that the satire did not make sense to him. The scene that gained his attention was Robocop returned to Murphy's abandoned home and experienced lingering memories of his former life. They spent searching about 6 to 8 months for an actor to play Robocop Murphy, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was set to play it, but no, Arnold wasn't fitting there. Michael Ironside, Rutger Howard, Tom Bergner, Keith Carradine, James Renner were considered. One favorite was Schwarzenegger, the star of the recent success of The Terminator, but he and other actors were too physically imposing to be believable in the Robocop costume. It was thought that Schwarzenegger would look like Michael Malin or Pillsbury Dope Boy. Others were blown because their face would be largely. Davidson said that Peter Weller was the only person who wanted to be in the film. The law settler he commanded was in favor, as he was a good body control for martial arts training and marathon running. His fan base in the science fiction film, he gained, following his performance and the adventures of Barco as he crossed the 8th dimension. Verhoeven said that he hired him because his chin was very good. Weller spent months working with mime, developing a fluid movement style for Robocop with a stiff ending, so he had to practice around the suit, how he would walk and act in the Robocop suit. Weller said working with Verhoeven was the main reason for choosing the role over repairing the King Kong lips. Stefan Lewis was cast as Murphy's partner. Can't say that, but she instead, we're going to Remington Steele. Instead, it was Nancy Allen. Herbert Smith edition for both Bodker and Jones. At first, Herbert Smith thought he would, be playing Dick Jones. He was known enough to television work and not experienced film success. He saw Robocop with the B-film potential. The character was scripted to wear glasses so that he would look like a Nazi party member. Smith was unaware of this and interrupted as the character portraying an intelligent from counsel to being a sneering and smirking drug kingpin. Ronnie Cox had been stereotyped as playing nice characters, good guys. Instead, this left the impression that he could not play muscle roles. So because of this, Rowling cast him as villain as Dick Jones. And he would also go to play another villain a couple years later, just a couple years later, another Paul Verhoeven movie. That did star Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was Total Recall, playing Cohagen in that movie. Cox said that playing a villain was about a gazillion times more fun than playing the good guys. Jones said, "Here's absolutely no comparison. He's evil. He's an evil son of a bitch." McGill Fair was unsure if the film would be successful, but he was desperate for work and would have taken any offer. The Old Man was based on, MA Inc. The Old Man was the, they run the company OCP. They even offered Howard Stern a role, but he turned it down because he thought the idea was stupid. Though he praised the film later. Film began on August 6, 1986 on a $11 million budget. Verhoeven wanted Blade Runner production designer Lawrence C. Roll, but Davidson said he could offer a great production designer or a great Robocop costume. Filming took place almost entirely on location in Dallas and some in Pittsburgh. Verhoeven wanted a modern film location that looked like it was from the near future. The trailer was dismissed because it had many low, fearless, and visually uninteresting ideas. Robocop costumes were not finished until sometime into filming. They did not impact the film schedule, but denied whether the month of a costume rehearsal he had expected. Wheeler was immediately frustrated with the costume because it was too cumbersome for him to move as he had practiced. He spent hours trying to adapt. He also struggled to see through the thin helmet visor and interact or grab objects while wearing the gloves. He fell off with Verhoeven and was eventually fired. The Lance interesting considered as replacement, but because the costume was built for Weller, he was encouraged to mend his relationship with Verhoeven. Yegman helped Weller develop a slower, more developed movement style. It caused him to sweat off about 3 pounds per day. Verhoeven began taking medication to cope with the stress of insomnia. Verhoeven often recorded scenes and clip notes of the actors before filming, even improvising them. Trevor Smith improvised some of his characters' quirks, such as sticking his gun on a security desk and spilling blood, because he gave Paul Hogan the idea. Trevor said in an interview, why not just spit blood? He's like, you want to spit blood? Or when he tells the lady, the hookers, which I'll mention later, he's like, well, you want to say bitches leave? Verhoeven gained a reputation for aggression and a unconscious behavior. Although Smith said that Verhoeven was never yelled at the actors, but was too. And filming the Cox and Allen both spoke fondly of Verhoeven. Weller spent his time between filming with the actors who played his enemies, including Smith, Ray Wise, and Calvin Young, who maintained healthy lifestyles. The next one was filmed at the Film Start Club. Verhoeven was filmed with how the club should dance and use the footage in the film. I think the MPA had to, downsize the rating a bit. There is a director's cut, I believe, of this movie because there was a bit more violence added. You do get if you can see here what a meal, in filmed in toxic waste, or you can just look it up on YouTube. Or a picture of it on Google. Murphy's death, Father Verhoeven described, was like the crucifixion of Jesus. But Robocop did become a hit franchise. This film even had a video game, based on that where you play Robocop. I think NSC or Nintendo, you play Robocop and go shoot bad guys. I think they have a new game coming out on PS4 or 5 or whatever. Marketing the film was difficult. You did have the trailer. I do like the trailer for Robocop. My one issue, it plays the Terminator music, which, wrong movie because this is not Terminator. Robocop is considered a groundbreaking entry in the science fiction genre, which it really is. And the film had sequels, you had an animated series, some TV shows, a remake. And they're even talking about making a new Robocop movie. That's what I've been hearing. But for the cast, you have, here's your cast of the movie. You have Peter Weller as Alice Murphy, Robocop, Nancy Allen as Ann Lewis, Daniel O'Hurley as the old man, Ronnie Cox as Dick Jones, Trevor Smith as Clarence Barker, McGill as Bob Morton, Ray Wise, who also did a superhero movie. Well, before this, that was years before, early 80s, but he was Swamp Thing. Well, played the human character, which I did review Swamp Thing on my channel. Jesse D. Goins as Joe Cox, Calvin Young as Steve Money, and Paul McGrain as Emil. So for the plot synopsis of Robocop. Robocop is set in a crime-ridden Detroit, which is in the near future. It's ruled by crime. You have this company, the OCP, who runs the cops. Well, basically has a contract with them. OCP stands for Osumi Consumer Products, and they kind of run the police. But you have a police officer, Alice Murphy, who gets murdered by gang criminals in the line of duty, and he gets revived by OCP as the cyborg law enforcer, Robocop. Unaware of his former life, Robocop executes a brutal campaign against crime while coming to terms with his lingering remnants of his humanity and also wanting to get revenge for his death. So, yeah, kind of pop for the nut job for you. But also about the movie itself. It's 15 minutes. Okay. Well, I will review the sequels too, including Robocop 2, and 3, and the 4th one, and the remake. But those will be short ones because I don't like those movies. Yeah. Yeah, but I like the movie's opening. You know, Robocop's theme. Da da da. You know, da da da. You know, da da da. You know, with the Robocop. Da da da. Da da da. Da da da. Da da da. Yeah. I can just picture it in my head. But you know, you have the opening. You have the satire of the news playing, which does add a bit of charm and comedy to the film. I think, you know, the film is over the top, but it's fun. And you have that, them talking about, you know, the police force, police are going on strike, but OCP, about, you know, Dick Jones is talking on TV. They talk about Clarence Boddicker, who is a gang leader, and he's also, you know, killed cops, about 31 cops he's murdered. And you have this commercial with this doctor talking about, you know, a transplant for your heart, this surgery. But OCP, you know, gets to fund and operate the police force. But then you have, you know, where we see the OCP, Bob Morton talking, you know, Johnson and Kenny talking to, you know, how he wants to deal with Jones, that he doesn't like Dick Jones, and Dick Jones is a repetition. You know, he's like number 2 at OCP. Dillman, of course, is the CEO, but the second guy in charge, I guess you could say, is Dick Jones himself, OCP senior president. He presents his new law enforcement droid. They said, Dillman says, we're going to build our new Delta City in 3 months. We built it. And it was like, but old Detroit has a cancer. That cancer is crime. So OCP wants to run it, you know, wants to take care of it, and, you know, Dick Jones has a meeting, and it seems like Bob Morton is just not interested in what he says, and even, you know, Goldman's with him like, you better be listening. Anyway, he goes on you know, what if we have a cop that doesn't need to sleep or rest, like a robot cop, you know, and he says, at 209, which he believed will end crime. Unfortunately, this demonstration goes crazy because you have Kenny. He's like, for instance, Mr. Kenny, come in. You know, he picks up, you know, this gun. He's like this. Why don't you use your gun in a threatening manner, Mr. Kenny? Point the gun at 209, Mr. Kenny. He's like this. He's like, put your gun down now. You're under arrest. And he's got the Kenny goes, you have 30 seconds to comply. And he's like, I think you would do what he says, Mr. Kenny. And Kenny puts it down. And he's like, and you know, he doesn't roar like a lion at 209. Like, you know, and then, you know, he's like, you have 15 seconds to comply. He's going to shoot him. And Kenny's like, oh my God, get away from me, what the hell? And then everybody's like pushing him until finally, like, you have 1 second to comply. And then, with bullets, you know, he's just, and it was, I heard the director's cut, he shoots him more. But, you know, Kenny's just on the Delta City plate that they have, you know, and he's just dead, and everybody's like, well, somebody call a goddamn paramedic! Don't touch him! You know. And then, you know, the old man looks at Dick, like, Dick, I'm very disappointed. He's like, sir, it's okay, it was only a glitch. You called this a glitch! But it's only a temporary setback, sir. But then Bob Warren comes in, sir, we have at my security constant, you know, engineers that have proposed the Robocop program. And he's like, we can do it, but, and then within a month or 90 days, he says, he's like, okay, we'll go with your idea. And Dave Jones just looks at him with anger, like, don't mess with me. Even Johnson, tells him, don't mess with Jones, Bob. And like Touche, he's like, oh, fuck Jones. He's got a cocky, arrogant attitude. He's not scared of Jones. He, pretty much Bob Morton is on right, wants to have money and greed. That's what the company is. They even don't really care less about Kenny's death, especially Bob. And then you see the Detroit Police Department. They're talking about going on strike. One of the officers was just murdered or killed. You see Alex Murphy, played by Doris Murphy, Alex J. Murphy. Murphy is not just a policeman, he's a cop, but a family man as well. He has a wife and son. And he just transferred. He's like, then Reed, who is the sergeant, the lieutenant, get the boss, and he pretty much spends the time in the movies calling people assholes half the time. And the cops talking about going on strike, but Reed says, we're police officers. We're in the alley. He's like, Murphy on duty. And then this is where you see Aunt Lois. Lois can handle her own. I like her short hair. It makes her look, anything else still beautiful. But the short hair, she looks hot still, I think. But, she punches the bad guy out. He's like, wow, good stuff. He's like, hey, Murphy. He's like, I do the driving, and before she hits the car, it takes off. And, that way him and Lois have, good chemistry. Also like the scene where he's, doing this twist with his gun. He tells her that his son is, that he wants to be a role model of his son. He watches the show for TJ Laser, Taser Laser or something. I don't know what the show is called, but anyway, he tells her he wants to be a role model to his son. That's what a boy needs. And they get a call about these crew of those that fleet a robbery, and they chase them. And the first time we see Clarence, again, Kirby Smith is very over the top, but fun as this character. He's like this, you idiot, you bought the fucking money. He gets mad. And, and there's calling, Clarence is like, what do you want? We got cops. He's like, well, I run them. This thing can't outrun cops, so just shut up and do it. And they start shooting at them. Clarence got a shotgun shooting at the cops. Murphy shooting back. It's a little shootout. Murphy shoots Bobby, the guy that run the money. They're like, Clarence, help me. He's like, Leon, pick him up. And he's that classical line. And he says to Bobby, he's like, can you fly, Bobby? And they throw his ass out the window. Out the car, out the truck, and lands on the cop's windshield, dead. And they get away, but they go to this abandoned steel mill. Murphy tries to go over backup. They say, over, backup is unavailable. I'm like, wow, we're cops, huh? So Murphy and Lewis go in. They decide to split up. Lewis runs into Joe, when he's taking a piss. He's like, freeze, you're under arrest. He's like, mind if I zip up first? And she just looks down, and with that distraction, Leon knocks her out. Doesn't kill her, just knocks her out like this. And Murphy sees that, you have the line with the old man with these ladies saying, I'm buying that for $1, And Murphy shows up, and he's like, freeze. The guy tries to get a shotgun, shoots at him, He points the gun at her mill, and he's like, dead or alive, you're coming with me. So he freezes he's like, Lois, I got one bag, I got one guy. He tries to call her, he's got the helmet on with the radio talk to her. And then Leon and I think the other guy's name is Steve, was the Asian guy, they point the gun at him, and was like, your ass is mine. And, Clarence was like, no, not yet it ain't. It was like, yo, you must be a good cop, coming here all by yourself. You a good cop? He's like this, and then Clarence wastes some time, and he hits him, with a shotgun, and he's like, where's your partner? Where's your partner? He's like, I beat her up, I took care of her, she was sweet. Laughs, and they tells him, Murphy teases him, I bet you don't think very much of me, pal. And then Murphy's like, buddy, I think you're slime. And the gang laughs, and Clarence is like, I have this problem. Cops don't like me, so I don't like cops. Points his gun at Murphy. Pow! Shoots his finger, shoots his hand off, with a shotgun. Hand blowing up, and Murphy's like, oh! And then Clarence jokes and says, give the man a hand. And they say, okay, go have your fun. Clarence just has a smoke. And they say, pretty boy, turn around. And Dorothy's death here is very disturbing. They just start shooting at him, and he's screaming in pain. Lois sees, she's like on the other side or whatever. And Murphy is just in pain. And then, Joe teases him, like, does it hurt? Does it hurt? And, then, getting his pistol, or 9mm, or whatever you want to call it. And Clarence says, okay, thumbs over. And pow, shoots him in the head. Murphy's dead. And, and Louis is like, Murphy! And it's just sad to see the guy there dying, but goes to the hospital. They try to rehabilitate him. His life is like flashing before his eyes. He's thinking about his wife and son, and then saying bye to them, and the guy, and the gang that shot him, including Clarence himself. Then he goes out. Then Bob Martin's team, security console, whatever you want to call them, they get his organs, including his brain, and they turn him into Robocop. You see flashes of him just waking up, them working on him, even saying New Year's, and then when they finally build him, they have a platform. They even get rid of his memory so he doesn't remember that he is Alex Murphy. And he gets reborn as Robocop. And, just looking at the suit, looking at Robocop, he just looks great still. I love that suit. It's not black, it's gray. Talking about the remake. Yeah, making him look like Batman doesn't work. Yeah. Well, anyway, you see Robo, go to the Detroit Police Department. They're walking, and the police are, other cops is like, well, what's that? They run to go see, and the lady's like, they tell him. And Robocop can record things, that he can use as evidence. He has, read your prime directives. Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. Good. And, Robocop has baby food, and Johnson is eating the baby food. Because he can't really digest food well, so Robo has to eat baby food. Yeah. And they take him to the shooting range with the cops at the station, and he just shoots it away. That's an awesome scene. And then when he throws his pistol, and then, Aunt Lou sees that, she's like, Murphy. Robocop, Morton says, he needs a car. So here's keys, and then he throws it, and Robo catches it, like, thank you. And you see, you get the thing over there, you have this guy, robbing these old people who are at a gas station, convenience store. He's like, open the safe, and she's going to get that machine gun. Robo shows up, he's like, come quietly, you're under arrest, Robo says. And the guy's like, fuck me, and then they start shooting, blah, 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 blah. Robo breaks the gun, tries to run, Robo knocks him out. He looks at the dude like, thank you for your cooperation. Good night. And, this lady's about to get raped until Robo shows up and like, now you ain't gonna do nothing. And, Robo has to protect the innocent, so he can't shoot the lady. Instead, he sees through, the skirt, and he aims, and he shoots the guy in the balls. And the guy's like, I give up. And the lady thinks Robo's like, ma'am, you've been in a distress situation, And then next you have a fire city councilman who holds the Detroit mayor hostage and the staff. He kills one. And Lieutenant Edgecock, who is, is one of the characters in the anime series who hates Robo, but Robocop goes in and he's like, keep him talking. Robo's everything. He's not like the sensor that he can it's kind of like S-Ray where he can see where the guy is. And then, he tries to use the mayor's hostage, but Robo is able to use his strength to break through the wall, grab the guy. Robo grabs him, punches him in the face, knocks him out the window. Robocop, who is he? Where is he? And then you see these kids come to Robocop, and he's like, Robo, do you have any advice for kids at home? He's like, stay out of trouble. Yeah. But anyway, about Morton afterwards, going to the restroom. He's a big man now. He's a big man on campus. Almost becoming a number 2 guy, which, when Jones takes that personal, even talking bad about him, saying that he's just an old man, that's life. And he hears this, because he's in the bathroom, and the John gets out of the bathroom, he's like, congratulations, Bob. I was once an executive, he said, well, you, cocky and stuff. I called the old man names, iron butt. Once I even called him asshole. But there's a line that has to be crossed, Bob, and you just stepped over it, buddy boy. You've insulted me, you've insulted this company with that bastard creation of yours. And he's like, well, the old man thought it was a good idea. He's a sweet old man, but he's not going to be around forever. You, and he's kind of this about, he goes here like this, just fucked with the wrong guy. And that scares Bob. I was like, yeah, you're fucking mine, nigga. He's like, he just walks away, knowing that Jones might, when he said, he fucked the wrong guy, he's scared that something might happen to him. Robocop eventually, is having these dreams. Here James Murphy, you see him just dreaming, sitting there, dreaming about, his death, getting up. Not Murphy, but Lewis Ron Jones saying, hello, I'm Officer Lewis, how you doing? He's like, how can I help you, Officer Lewis? What's your name? He's like, that's not what I meant, she says, and then before the OCP officer runs to her, she says to Robocop, she's like, Murphy, it's you. And Robocop backs up, I have to go. Somewhere there's a crime happening. And Robocop goes to arrest Emil's at this, gives the accusation and robs this guy, and says, almost at 7, he's like, don't try nothing stupid, man, I'll blow your head off here, I'm a good shot. He's like, you a college boy? It's like this. You think you're not smart, huh? I'm talking to you, kicking the door. And Robo shows up, Robo's like, drop it, dead or alive, you're coming to me, and then, Emil's like, what? We killed you! And now Robocop is recording what he's saying. We killed you. You're dead. And then he runs away, and the gas line breaks, and he puts a cigarette there, blows up the gas station. Well, the gas attendant guy, the nerd guy, just runs away. Robo survives it and shoots, the tire or whatever of the bike. He falls over, like, who are you? Who are you? But Emil's just, tired, passed out, and able to talk. Robocop pursues, part of his henchmen. He talks to Leon Nash. Leon's, at this partying with this girl, whatever, dancing. And he's like, Leon Nash, where is kind of party? He's like, tries to kick over in the nuts, but it doesn't work, so it hurts his split. And he's like, come with me, like this. Robo pulls him. Robocop eventually, goes to this drug factory where Boddicker is at. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier about Bob Morton. And also, forgetting to mention stuff. I'm sorry. Anyway, Bob Morton, who I mentioned earlier about Dick Jones, since he crossed him, Dick Jones has him murdered by Boddicker. Boddicker, he's spending time with these hookers, making out with them, until, he thinks the champagne's there. He's like, hey, how you doing? And then it's Clarence himself, and Clarence is like this, bitches leave. I was like, bye, Bobby, so call me. And he was like, who is this? What the hell, are you out of your mind? And Clarence just like, this sniper gun, well, not sniper, but like a silencer, and just shoots him in the legs. He's like, this fuck. Shoots him in the leg, and he shows him a video of, Dick Jones saying this. Hello, Bob. You're probably on your knees right now, begging for your life. It's a shame. We could have been friends, Bob. He's like, I could pay you more. And then, Clarence just has served as a grenade and just, bites the pin off with his mouth, falling down. He's like, I'm cashing you out, Bob. And Clarence just walks out silently, place blows up. He dies. We get back into Robocop. Robocop, searches for Emil's name in a computer system, and finds out the gang members, including Clarence himself, and sees his memory of who he was. And he goes to Murphy's old house on his street. Robo was looking at these, Robocop goes in the house, sees the memories of his son, watching TJ his wife saying he loves him, she loves him, and he sees like a picture of his wife and son. It was like Halloween. He's like, would you like to buy your house? And Robo gets mad, punches the door, punches this TV out, and he captures Boddicker himself. He's making a drug deal, talking to this guy's like, look son, I don't want to with you. I got enough stuff here to sniff up your ass for a week. You'll be shitting bricks for a week or something like that. As I blow this cross, I was like, just kidding. And they're gonna make this drug deal, but Robocop burst in, and the Robo's like, come quietly, or there will be trouble. He says, pistol whipped at him, gun at him, and the Asian, Steve, the Asian guy, Armin, whatever his name was, like, oh, fuck you, and they start shooting at Robocop, pow pow one guy off. I like it, Robo does these moves, pow one guy up, pow him up, does this, pow, some awesome shots in there. He kills, one of Boddiker's men, Steve, but Joe's there too, but Joe gets hit by the shotgun, doesn't die, he just gets knocked out. Boddicker runs. Clarence Boddicker, he was the right to remain silent. Even right to his like, he spits in Robo's face. He's like, fuck you. And, he throws him. He's like, he's like, this, man, you can't do this, I got protection. He's like, what is this shit? And he throws him out another window. And Robo, he's like, listen to me. Damn it. Listen to me, you fuck. There's a guy that runs OCP. Anything you say, we haul against you. No, and he throws him. He's like, it's Dick Jones, and he records him saying this. And he's like, Dick Jones runs the cops. He's one of the cops. He's like, and then Robo starts choking Boddicker as his face up. He's like, you're a cop. And then Robo stops, remembering up hold the wall. He's like, yes, I am a cop. And he's like, just that look. He arrests him. He's like, book him. What's the charge? As Reed is talking to his officers and they're talking about going on strike. But Reed, he spits on the paper like this. Just give me my fucking phone call. And he presumes he calls Dick Jones. Dick Jones never was on his way, but Dick Jones has a surprise up his sleeve as you find out he's the one that made a classic director, which directed 4. He's like, can I help you, officer? I don't see a point, but for you, I'll make an exception. He's like, you're under arrest. What's the charge, officer? He's like, unnating, betting a known felon. And before Robo can do it, he's like, are you going to arrest me? I will. And before he can, Robo's just shutting down. He's like, what's wrong, officer? He's like, I'll tell you what's wrong. I put a little prime directive in there. Any attempt to arrest an OCP officer of this company will result in immediate shutdown. Results in immediate shutdown. What do you think? You're a real police officer? You're our product, and we can't have our products turn against us, can we? And Robo tries to pull his gun. It's like, still a little fighting, huh? I'll let you meet a friend of mine. He, has the button, and it says, meet F209. F209 attacks Robo. Robo even grabs, one of the cannons on his arm, and on F209 and points at his own, gets blown off. You see his eye, and all he can do is just run. He gets down these stairs, and the funny thing is, though, it's hilarious when F209 can't go down the stairs because his feet are too big, and he falls, and he's like whimpering, like an animal. Robo, because Dick Jones called Lieutenant Gadgecott, the cop that doesn't like him. What you presume? He has all these 30 cops, and they start shooting at Robo. But they're like, man, don't do this. He's a cop. Hitchcock, you're insane. They start shooting Robo. They kill him. Robo, yeah. Jones also, goes about his crimes, I forget to mention, because he says, when he gets up to him, he's like, I had to kill Bob Morton. because he made a mistake, which Robocop did record that. Yeah, you'll find out later. But Robocop is, jumping down a few lanes, jumping, through hallways trying to get away from the cops. Lois is like, it's me, Lois. Come on, Murphy, let me help you. And she gets him in the car. They go off. They go to the steel mill. He gets damaged, but Robocop has to repair himself. And see for the first time that he removes his visor, you see his face, and just the makeup and stuff looks good. Really good. And he says, Murphy had a wife and son. Where are they? What happened to them? She moved. She thought you were dead. I can feel them, but I can't remember. They do feel sorry for him. But Robert was like, leave me alone. Murphy's like, leave me alone. Leave me. And you just feel very sad for him there, because he is a tragic character. He was just a good family man. An honest guy, a good cop, a family man that just got his life cut short, pretty much. I would say Murphy's about maybe late 30s or 40s or something like that, but not that old and young, and as a family, and he's just murdered in the line of duty. So he is a tragic character. But then Tony Parker, as they go into the OCP office of Dick Jones, and he's like, you really messed up, Clarence. He's like, hey, Dickie boy, how you doing? And he's like, you idiot. You wronged me, remember? He's like, hey, look at my face, man. That thing tried to kill me. He's like, you're going to have to kill it. Well, your company built the fucking thing. No, I have to deal with it? I'm on top of this shit. He's like, well, Clarence, there's going to be this crime running around. There's going to be criminals running around. And there's one man that can be in charge of the entire crime. And he's like, I guess we're all going to be friends after all, Richard. He's like, all right. So he gives them these military weapons. So we practically all the military. He gives them the tracking device for Robocop to have. And Clarence agrees to do it. You see Robo, wait a minute. The Detroit police began their threatened strike, complaining of budget reductions that OCP has not been paying them enough, I guess. And the city goes to Detroit goes to the crime starts taking over Jones. Well, the promise is to make him the new crime lord of Delta City. He was supplies him with vehicles, an anti-material weapon. This is steel mill where they murdered Murphy. Murphy, you see him practicing with his gun, but his targeting system's off, so and all of a sudden just a little to the left, and he shoots the baby food. The officer, Clarence again, they get these guns, they play around with the weapons a bit, they start blowing the guns like, until Clarence is like, okay, he's at the steel mill, let's go. And, Leon is like, cut the whole shit, let's go, He's like, Emil, in your truck, in the van. And they go there, he's like, nothing simple. Emil in the truck, nothing simple, just kill him. They're tracking him, trying to find out where he's at. And, Robo gets ready, just clicks his gun, tells her to get the car, as he's ready to face down these guys. Robo throws like a glass or something to distract them, and they shoot at it, and then it's a miss, and Clarence is like, damn it, shit, and as they're looking still, Robo's like, looking for me, so they shoot him. Robo shoots one guy, he shoots Joe like 3 times and kills him. And Leon is trying to blast the gun at Robo but misses. He walks on the ground finally, Emil tries to run him over, he's like, I got you now, and Robo shoots at him and runs, and he is in the toxic waste. That's when you get the toxic waste scene. He goes outside, his body is just like he's killing, horribly disfigured, his eyes falling out, it's like his skin is falling apart, he's become like really fat almost, toxic waste really messed up his body. He goes, runs over, he's like, help me, and he just walks out, stumbles onto the road, and Clarence is having a run-in with, what's her name, Lois, as she's driving the car and he's driving his car. He runs him over, and the boy's passing. He's dead, and the car wrecks. Clarence wrecks his car. Lois was over, she bought a girl, but bought her, jumps out of his car, pow, pow, shoots. Lois is like, goodbye, baby. And he's like, and then Robo shows up, like, Clarence! He's like, and Clarence walks up to him like this, and leans on top, trying to, goes to this crane. Robo said, he's like, Clarence, and then, Clarence just throws the gun away like this. Okay, I give up. He's like this. I'm not arresting you anymore. He's pointing his gun tomorrow. He's gonna eventually, plans to kill him. And he's like this. Well, man, you're taking this kind of personal, aren't you? I'm not kidding, man. Don't be joking around, man. Don't kid around like this. No, man. And then, while Robo's just looking at him, Leon dumps this stuff on him. Dumps this, equipment stuff on him. Robo just gets stuck. And like, I got him, Clarence. I got him. And even though she's been shot, a couple times with Clarence, Lois is able to grab that mid-serve weapon, shoots it, and blows up Leon, killing him. And Robo, he grabs this pipe, I should say it's a pipe, or something like that. Clarence is pissed off that he's killed, so he says to be right back. Sorry. Clarence. Can't even speak. Clarence. He's got the pipe. He's Robocop, hitting him, hits him 3 times. Eventually, he stabs him with the pipe, and Robo screams and he's like, Sign no, Robocop! And Robo, who has the spike that can get him the computers, but instead, he uses the spike and stabs him in the neck, cutting an artery in there, and, Clarence like, and dies. Lois, to make sure she's okay, she's like, Murphy, I'm a mess. They'll fix you. They fix everything, and then he pushes it. It's not over yet. As Robo goes to take care of Dick Jones to arrest him, as she said, he shows up at the LPC office. Clarence is dead now, but Jones is talking to the executives of OCP and telling them his plan for the future for A209s and rebuilding Delta City. I guess you could say that he's going to be, getting rid of the old man, and, that's what he thinks. But he's surprised to see Robo show up. Before Robo does, though, he runs into A209. Instead of fighting with the A209 like last time, he comes prepared. Robo grabs that military weapon, twice shoots it, and kills that 209. And, Dick Jones is like, that thing's a killing machine, that thing's a murder. He's like this. What, officer, how can we help you? Old man says, he's like, Dick Jones is wanted for murder. These are serious charges. What's your evidence? Then, he posted evidence which he said earlier that he recorded. But he shows this in front of the television for these television people where Jones incriminates himself by saying, I had to kill Bob Morton because he made a mistake. Now it's time to erase that mistake. Willing evidence now that he has proof that, he committed this murder. With nothing to do, trying to find out something to do quick, he grabs his gun in the case, grabs the old man. He's like, and Robo can't shoot him because he even tells him he can't do anything because of his programming. Officer, executive of this company, he can't turn against. Robo can't do nothing. He points the gun at him. He's like, I'm going to go to the chopper. Me and my and we're going to fly away. But until he says, Dick, you're fired! And punches the gun. Robo's like, thank you. And Robo shoots him. Robo shoots him, killing, and Dick jumps off the window, dies. And then Robo just throws his gun, puts it back in, his holster. He's like, and then old man's like, nice shooting, son. What's your name? He's like, Murphy. and Robo just walks away, and then you have the theme, the ending, you know, da 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 da. Yeah. And that's the ending of Robocop. Yeah. Well, but I don't know what else I can say about this movie, y'all. Oh, I forgot to mention, it was written by Paul Verhoeven, written by Edward Niemeyer and Michael Miner, produced by Armand Schmidt, cinematography by Joe Bacon, it's edited by Frank Gervais, music by Basil Berdoros. It was released July 17th, 1987, 102 minutes long, not that long of a movie, about 1 hour and 43 minutes, but it goes by at a good pace. The budget to make this movie was $13.7 million worldwide. At the box office, it made $53.4 million worldwide. So, yeah. But just wanted to mention that real quick. But anyway, let me get to my final thoughts on this movie. For my review of this movie, I love Robocop. This is still classic. This was before I started rating movies. But anyway, Robocop, this is a classic. I love this film. One of the best movies probably ever made, in my opinion. One of my favorite films ever made. I love this film. I do consider Robo a superhero, so I counted it for the superhero marathon. Well, to me, Robocop is a hero, so it counts. So yeah, but this movie is awesome. The story is really good. You know, I like that this kind of plays like in the future. I like the way the old short looks. Robocop is an awesome character. You feel bad, like I said, Murphy is a tragic character that gets murdered, but Robocop is awesome. You have some good action in here as well. The action is good. The story is mainly about Robocop himself. It's a great movie, a really good story. Yeah. You know, about, you know, just a cop that loses his life, gets rebuilt as a robot, and has to, you know, kind of refine his humanity himself again. You know, also, you know, executives who think they have higher-ups, who think they can break the law and do it if they want, not care, but no, even as a, you know, even as a big executive company, you can't really commit crimes and get away with it. You know, that's what I kind of see in the movie, but despite that, though, it's a great movie. The cast is good. Peter Weller does a fantastic job. Peter Weller, to me, he is Robocop. He is still the best guy in the world. No matter who plays Robocop, Peter Weller will always be my Robocop. He's great. Nancy Allen, she's great as Ann Lewis, very beautiful and tough. Daniel O'Hara does a good job as the old man. Ronnie Cox does a great job as the villain. Dick Jones and Clarence, Herbert Smith as Clarence, he does a fantastic job. I love him in the role. He's over the top, but he's an awesome villain. He steals the show here with his over the top lines and stuff. McGill Fair does a good job with Bob Morton. I know he passed away. I think McGill Fair passed away some time ago because he was on NCIS LA. Yeah, but he died at 61 back in 2017. Really good acting. He was in a superhero movie. He was in Iron Man 3. Yeah, I think playing the vice president of that movie. But he's great in this film with Bob Morton. As you can see, Bob Morton, I would say is the type of villain that is just greedy, and because of that he gets killed. And Paul Verhoeven does a great job. He knows how to direct a movie, make a good story, and has put good action and good balance, but, you know, makes a good story out of it. Edward Niemeyer and Michael Miner did a good job with the script. The music by Basil Berdoros is really good, you know, da-da-da, ba-da-da, if it's Robocop, you know, da-da-da-da, you know, ba-da-da, you know. Basil Berdoros has done many scores for other films, including Conan the Barbarian, Red Dawn, The Hunt for Red October. Well, he passed away back in 2006, but he was a really good, you know, composer. And also Conan the Destroyer. I've never seen Iron Eagle. He did a music score for Free Willy. I love that score for that movie. And he did a music score for Robocop 3 and on Deadly Ground. I don't like Robocop 3, but Basil Berdoros' score is good though. And for Weird Equivalent to Jungle Book, I love the score to that movie. And Under Siege 2, and Free Willy 2. Corridor D in Los Angeles, and The Touch was his last movie, but he was one of my favorite composers, just like Jerry Goldsmith, you know, who would also do the, he did Paul Verhoeven and Total Recall. Anyway, sorry. I think it was a different guy that did the themes for the second movie. But this Robocop did get a children's anime series. live action television shows, comic books with the Robo facing the Terminator, toys, clothing, and other merchandise, and a remake. And like I said, Robocop returns. It's in development as of 2020. It ain't always other entries in the series. So, but yeah, all the story, negatives, well, nothing. The only thing that was really stated in it is when, you know, Dick Jones falls to his death. Yeah, it really doesn't. It really looks bad, but it doesn't completely ruin the movie for me. And the film runs at a good pace. It's got a good story. You know, the music score really works. Cinematography, the action is awesome. You do get blood and gore in this movie, like Kenny getting shot, you know, blah, blah, blah. So there's blood and gore in this movie. So at the top, and this movie is not a kid's movie, so I would not recommend this movie for children. Robocop can't be violent, you know. Yeah. But I do believe, I'd like to check out the director's cut of this movie someday, because I'm sure it does add more blood and gore, especially to Murphy's death as well. But his death has always been, I think, disturbing. First time I saw it was, yeah, disturbed out of it. But, you know, despite that though, this is an entertaining film. Well, this movie, I'd buy this for $1. For that for $1, sorry. But, Dead or Alive, you're coming with me. Classic lines in here. Bitches leave. You know, can you fly, Bobby? You know, great lines in here. Great lines of dialogue. Fun movie. Very entertaining film. I love Robocop. I don't know what else I'm going to say more about it, but I love this film. So guys, my rating for Robocop, as I'm going to give it a thumbs up, my rating for Robocop is 5 out of 5 stars. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Robocop in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think of it in your opinion? Have you seen any of the sequels? Have you seen the remake? And are you a fan of the Robocop character like I am? I love Robocop. Yeah. It's a classic. You know. But love Robocop. Once again, I'll rank this film as 5 out of 5 stars and a thumbs up. So guys, tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Robocop in your opinion? Alright guys, stay tuned for my next review. Maybe tonight, I don't know. But next, we'll be reviewing for a movie. What is superhero? But this character is a Marvel character. It's a TV show, I mean, that came out in the 70s. And it stars Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno, and I'll be reviewing just the TV pilot, not talking about the show, but I will be reviewing the TV pilot for this. I figured that, you know, the pilot episode I'll be reviewing. There's another episode included, but I'm just going to review the TV pilot episode, and that is the TV pilot for The Incredible Hulk. So, yeah. I know you can't see in this, but that's... So I might be talking about this next, so stay tuned for maybe an next review for this, or tomorrow, I don't know yet. But, the TV pilot for The Incredible Hulk, so, yeah, we'll be doing a review for that next. Hope you guys look forward to that, and tell me what you think in the comments down below of what do you think of Robocop. If you enjoyed this review, also check out my original review for Robocop. I will be reviewing the sequels now. I have reviewed the sequels from the remake a long time ago. It's on my Robocop reviews. And stay tuned for a revisit review for Robocop sometime. Not yet. That movie did not come in the 80s. That was 90s, 1990s. So, but yeah, for now we get the original Robocop. Check out my original review. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Keep on subscribing and watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for 5 out of 5 stars once again. My rank for Robocop, and stay tuned for my review for the TV pilot episode for The Incredible Hulk. So, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.